All right, this is going to be a super fun video and a super fun challenge for the vinyl community, so don't go anywhere. Hey, what's up? I'm Jason, and this channel is for vinyl lovers who want to find new vinyl to listen to, purchase, or avoid. I focus on vinyl, but everyone is welcome. Let's jump right in. All right, today I am going to review the 2023 Target exclusive of A Tribe Called Quest's The Low End Theory. And then I'm gonna pass this very record on to another YouTuber who I'll announce at the end of this video, and they will also do a video review of this record on their system, maybe even comparing it to other copies in their collection, and then they'll pass it on to another YouTuber for review, and so on and so on. And we'll just keep this hot potato chain rolling, and maybe we'll get some insight once and for all whether these reissues are as flaky as they seem. In fact, it would be great if another reviewer with the opposite opinion of mine has this very pressing so that they can compare the two and see the difference. But first, we have to crack this baby open and pop it in the oven. This album is so awesome. I haven't heard it in so long. It was actually really nice to drop this on the turntable and just revisit this kick-ass hip-hop album. All right, let's jump into the review of this album to see whether I think it's worth your time and money. So if you're watching this video, you are probably already familiar with this album, but one fun fact I didn't know is that this album is credited for helping to launch Busta Rhymes' solo career. He appears on the track Scenario, which was the album's third single, and the album was originally released in 1991 and was primarily produced by band member Q-Tip. For Beastie Boys fans, Q-Tip also appears on the track Get It Together, which is the second single off of their album, Ill Communication. A fantastic tune. All right, so let's jump into the presentation first, and then I'll tell you all about the Sonics. This is a pretty basic presentation. I mean, it does come with the t-shirt, otherwise you get fairly basic outer sleeve here. You got paper sleeves, as you probably saw earlier, which I replaced with, some static resistant sleeves. You got these white labels. And so, presentation, it's fine. It's about what you would expect, I think, from most of the Target offerings. There's one little mark, I don't know, some smudge or something on one of the records, but it's not audible or anything, so I'm fine with it. All right, so let's jump into how this record performs. Number one, surface noise. This is a quiet record. You saw me cleaning the records on my high-end spin clean, so these records were clean and there's really no surface noise to speak of. It's always great when you drop the needle on some vinyl and you don't even hear anything leading into the first song, and you're sort of like, are my speakers on? And then boom, in comes the music. So that was the experience I had on this record. Number two, warping. Warping is negligible. I'm happy to report that these records are flat and warp free. But again, with warping, your mileage may vary. Okay, number three, distortion. I didn't notice any distortion on here either. For me, oftentimes I notice distortion on high frequency sounds like cymbals and trumpets. You can also get distortion on the vocals called sibilance. And I didn't notice any sibilance either, so I'm happy to report that this record is distortion free as well. All right, number four is gonna be the overall Sonics, and This is where I'm in a little bit of a quandary. I mean, I don't have another pressing of this record. This is it. And so in those situations, I put the vinyl up against my high quality Spotify account. And because these are Bluetooth speakers, I can literally jump back and forth and get a really good idea of how the vinyl compares to the digital file. So I did that on a few tracks, and I have to say the difference is almost undetectable. This is so close to the Spotify file that I have to guess they are from the same source. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? And this is where I have mixed feelings. This is a very bassy record. If you're bumping this in the Honda Civic, yes, you're rattling your teeth, you're pissing off your neighbors if that's your thing. But for me, I like a little more dynamic range. And the thing is, the vocals on this record are in the same range as the bass. And if you're familiar with this album, then you know there's a lot of jazz sampling on here too. And much of that is in the low range as well. As someone that likes lots of different kinds of music, it drives me a little crazy that they didn't expand the frequency range a little bit more. Now here's the thing, if you're like me and that you want some highs in your music and you have no problem twiddling your knobs, you're okay tweaking the EQ here and there, then I think you can be happy with this pressing. For me, that meant really cranking up the 2 kilohertz and the 8 kilohertz bands, and it really made a difference. Without having another pressing to compare this to, I'm just gonna chalk that up to personal preference, but I'm very interested to know what other reviewers think. Okay, so can I recommend this record? Well, I mean, I wish I could say for the price, yes, but this pressing is gonna set you back almost $50 US. And I'm glad I had a $10 gift card to soften the blow a bit, but it's still a pricey record. Having said that, it's almost identical to the Spotify file. I couldn't detect any difference, so if you're good with that, then you're good to go. But I am a little disappointed that there's not a lot of dynamic range without cranking up the high end on the EQ, but again, that might just be personal preference. All right, so to kick off this challenge, I'm passing this record on to Chance over at Concert Buddy. Chance will do his review of the record and then pass it on once more. Go subscribe to the Concert Buddy channel if you haven't already and click the notification bell so that you don't miss his review of this very record. I think he actually has a different pressing to compare this to, so I'm very interested to see what Chance thinks. If you like this kind of content, please let me know in the comments. Also, there is way more where this video came from, so please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, do you have this target pressing of the Low End Theory? And if you do, what do you think? Have you had success with these Target exclusives in general? Thanks so much for watching the video, and I will see you next time.